Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you, sir. You can have a seat. If you'll just pull that microphone close so everybody can hear you. Thank you. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Stacks, would you introduce yourself to the court? Tell us your full name and what do you do for a living?
Yeah, I'm Christopher Stacks, and I work for Valen. It's a fire safety company.
And how old are you, sir?
I'm 26.
Where were you raised?
Was born in Jacksonville, Florida, raised in Texas.
Where'd you go to high school?
Newlywed High School.
And what city do you live in now?
Newlywed.
Are you married?
I was.
When were you married?
About a year and a half ago.
And who were you married to?
Lauren Stacks.
Lauren Stacks. Also, and her name was what before y'all got married?
Lauren Eisenhower.
And when y'all first got married, where were y'all living?
We were living in Beaumont, about less than a minute from the church.
Which church are you talking
The
about?
Apostolic Church.
That's here in Beaumont?
Yes, sir.
Buckle up, guys. Today we're going to witness the calm before a storm. The court opens with a solemn oath and a judge setting the stage. That short ritual instantly tells you this is serious. Listen to the formality, the microphone cue, the witness asked to state his name. It anchors the story in procedure, lending weight to everything that follows and preparing viewers for truth, grief, and accountability to come.
Is that where you worship?
Yes, sir.
And is that where you met her?
No, we met, I actually drove up about 10 hours to Fort Smith where she was still going to college.
Tell me what Lauren was doing career and education-wise.
She had just finished her dental hygienist degree, and she had been working, I think, for about a year in that field whenever everything happened.
Did she move down here when y'all got married?
We were working on it. She was still finishing a contract where she lived in Murfreesboro.
Was she looking for work here?
Yes, sir.
And was the plan for her to move down here full-time?
Yes, sir.
In June of 2024, specifically the 13th, that evening, did you have an opportunity to speak with your wife?
Yeah, I came home from work, had a long day. We had planned to have a date night, but her and Camille had been texting all day, her and her little friends.
Who did you say she was texting with?
Camille Marty.
And Camille Marty, did you know her as well?
Yes, sir.
How did you know her?
That was Boston Carr's fiance.
She was engaged to a friend of yours?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Carr?
Yes, sir.
And did they also attend y'all's church together?
Yes, sir.
And so you said she'd been texting Camille and some other friends. What were they doing that evening?
They were planning to have a little girls' night at Lindsay Chandler's house, and they were just gonna hang out and do whatever girls do, I guess.
Where did Miss Chandler reside?
They lived in Port Arthur.
Okay. When was the last time you saw her?
That night, or that evening, afternoon. So
Okay.
it was about, I would say 4 o'clock. She cooked me dinner, and we talked for about an hour, and then she went on her way.
Do you know what time she left to go to her friend's house?
I want to say it was like around 5 or 6.
After she left, did you have communication with her that night?
Yes, sir. We texted.
And she went to Miss Chandler's house.
Yes, sir.
And do you know what they did there?
I believe they swam. I know they left the house at some point and went and got snacks at H-E-B, the couple stores. I can't remember which ones, but then they went back to the house after that.
In this clip, a husband paints the ordinary contours of life, where he was raised, the job he held, and the recent marriage that promises normalcy. He explains church ties and where the couple plan to live, making the loss that follows feel intimate and real. The testimony layers everyday details, names, places, small routines, so the audience can feel the human life that will be shattered by the events to come.
Now, Lauren and her friends, did they drink alcohol?
Yes, sir.
Any of them do drugs?
Yes, sir.
Is there any kind of partying going on?
Yes, sir.
Swimming and hanging out at the house?
Yes, sir.
When was the last time that you heard from her?
I believe I fell asleep around probably 11 or 12.
And had she texted you at that point?
Yes, sir. The last text, I believe, was that she was coming home to see me soon and that she loved me.
In the early morning of June 14th of last year, did you realize something was wrong?
Yeah, I woke up and it was probably, I want to say 1:30 or so. I can't remember the time stamps, but I woke up and she hadn't texted for a while. I had her location on my phone.
And so at that point, when you woke up, did you expect her to have been home by then?
Yes, sir.
Was that unusual for her to have been out that late with her friends?
Never.
You stated you could follow her location on your phone. Were you able to do that?
I was, but it had her in front of the prison or the jail for like an hour or so when I looked and I saw that. Maybe it was an hour, I can't remember for sure, but
It wasn't moving, was it?
it wasn't moving.
So what did you do?
I immediately threw clothes on and got on the road
And you're driving from where?
from Beaumont.
As you got close, did you realize something bad had happened?
Here we pivot into the night itself. The wife's plans, text with friends, and a girl's night that starts ordinary. Swimming, snacks, laughter. The witness recounts last contact and the casual timing of her departure. Drink mention is subtle but present. This segment is the crucial setup. It shows how routine choices and social plans set a trajectory that makes the later tragedy not abstract, but painfully precise.
Yeah, so when I turned that curve going on 69, I saw a lot of,
You saw lights?
yeah, I saw the lights.
Chris, when you pulled up, could you tell there had been a car crash?
I knew there was something wrong.
Can you tell Judge what you did see when you pulled up?
I couldn't see much because it was the median was in the way, but I turned around on the underpass and I saw there was a cop that stopped me. I guess he was directing traffic. And I asked him, I said, "Has there been a wreck?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "My wife, her location was right there." And so he let me through. I drove through and I was stopped about probably 100 yards from the spot of the accident. And I couldn't remember exactly what was asked or what I said, but they basically told me, I showed them my phone, I showed them the location, and they couldn't even tell who it was or who was in the vehicle or anything, because the bodies were just...
There was a burning car at the scene, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And from that car, there were no survivors, were there?
Yeah, they took them, I believe they took them weeks to find out who it was.
But was it ultimately identified to be your wife?
This clip is where unease replaces routine. The husband notices silence, checks her location, and sees it frozen near the jail, a detail that spikes tension. The narration captures the gradual dawning of dread, a stopped on a map, a late hour, and a decision to act. It's a small, modern breadcrumb trail, phone location, missed texts, that communicates how technology both connects and confirms our worst fears.
Yes, sir.
Lauren Stacks.
Yes, sir. She was in the passenger seat.
This is a dumb question, Chris, and I'm sorry to ask it. What's this done to you?
It's affected me in every single aspect of my life.
How long had y'all been married before she did?
Only 19 days.
I'm sorry you have to be here, Chris. I'm sorry all these people that are in the courtroom have to be here. You and I spoke about this case, the legal side of it, and what can possibly happen. What are you asking Judge West to do today?
I think the only thing that can be done is the maximum sentence. I think that's the only way that any kind of healing can be done. From just on my end and from the 1,000 lives that were affected by this senseless tragedy.
Arrival at the scene is visual and visceral. Emergency lights, officers directing traffic, and a husband asking if there's been a wreck. The clip compresses panic into 3 sharp beats, lights, a police barrier, and the fleeting hope in a question. It's a cinematic, almost breathless moment that signals to viewers that the routine night has become an emergency. The emotional stakes jump here.
Thank you, Chris. I'll pass it to Sharon.
Any questions? Thank you. You may call your next witness.
State calls Boston Carr.
Good morning, Mr. Carr. You swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you. You can have a seat. Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Carr, would you identify yourself for the jury and tell us what you do for a living? I mean, for the judge, and tell us what you do for a living, please.
My name is Boston Carr, and I live in Beaumont, Texas, and I work for Bierce Industrial, an industrial sales company.
And how old are you, sir?
I'm 22 years old.
And, well, back in June of 2024, were you engaged to be married?
Yes, sir, I was.
And who are you engaged to be married to?
Camille Marty.
And how did you meet Camille?
I met Camille right during COVID at a church conference in Sebastopol, Mississippi. She was from North Carolina. I was from Beaumont, Texas, so it was a pretty unlikely meetup, you know, in the middle of nowhere in Sebastopol, Mississippi.
And I take it y'all hit it off.
We did. It's a hilarious story that I was in the altar in the worship service, and she was in the altar in the worship service, and we saw each other in the altar. And we probably made eye contact 20 times in the worship service in the altar. And after service, I made sure to say hi to her.
And at what point did y'all become engaged and married?
We got engaged in March of 2024.
Now, what was Camille doing as far as work and education at the time of her death?
She had just finished nursing school. She had graduated that May.
And had she moved down here?
Yes, she graduated in May, and after her graduation, my family went to a graduation in Mississippi and moved all of her things down to Beaumont, and she lived in Beaumont for 2 or 3 weeks before the accident.
Now, church is pretty important to you and your family, isn't it? Tell me why you're so connected with the church.
The church is my life. My father is the pastor.
The confirmation lands hard. The burned vehicle, bodies at the scene, and the slow, terrible identification of his wife in the passenger seat. The husband's stunned reactions, fumbling for answers, the muddle of police responses, are devastatingly human. This segment translates bureaucratic procedures into heartbreak, showing how official lines and forensic delay collide with raw grief.
Of the Apostolic Church in Beaumont, and everything I do on a weekly basis revolves around my faith in the church.
And you are friends with Christopher Stacks, correct?
Yes, sir.
And y'all had this friendship, and both were starting your families together at the same time, is that correct?
Yes.
And y'all had brought your fiance and his wife into y'all's church family.
Yes.
Were they embraced by that church?
Absolutely. They were loved by everyone. And that's an understatement.
Is it fair to say that most of these folks behind me are church members?
Yes, sir.
That are here to support you and Christopher and the Eisenhower and the Marty families and Lauren and Camille?
Yes. Most of the church family.
How did you find out that Camille had been killed?
I was asleep, and my dad busted into my room, and it was about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. And I remember waking up, and he just said, "The girls got in an accident." And my first thought was that they had to be okay. There was no way something like that could happen. And I immediately asked, are they okay? What hospital are they at? You know, what ER are they in? And all my dad could say was, they didn't make it. And all I could say was no. Just no, no. And I jumped out of bed and I still just couldn't believe it. There's no way. And I got dressed as fast as I could and I ran downstairs and I didn't know what I could do. I thought there was something maybe I could do. And my dad just told me, he said, Bubba, there's nothing you can do. There's nowhere you can go. Can't do anything.
We shift to another life altered, Boston Carr's introduction, and the way his faith and family bind him to the community. This clip frames the wider circle of loss, engagements, shared church life, and mutual support among friends. It prepares viewers to understand the ripple effects. When one life is taken, entire networks, families, congregations, future plans are suddenly suspended and redefined.
And since this has happened, how's it affected you, Boston?
I had begun building my life with Camille and my life plans and our life that we were building together, and we had just begun to build together, was just taking off. And the one thing that I thought I had done right in my life was deciding to marry Camille. And with that gone, I feel so lost in like this life that I was supposed to have has been taken away from me.
I'm asking the same question that I asked Chris. What do you want to see happen here today?
Full sentencing underneath the law, that's possible.
And that's actually not enough, is it? Nothing
sir.
can
No,
fix
sir,
it.
I don't believe it is.
I understand. Thank you, Mr. Carr. I'll pass it to you.
No question.
Thank you.
I have no other witnesses to call in punishment, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Nichols. Mr. Young, do you have any witnesses?
Yes, sir. We would call Salvador Gomez.
All right, Mr. Gomez, if you'll just get them close over here, please. Is he able to step up or no? We can leave him in the chair. Okay. Mr. Gomez, please, the best you can, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're going to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Just be sure to speak loudly and clearly into that microphone so everyone can hear you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Young, if you can come up to the podium.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The moment he's told they didn't make it is captured here. The raw disbelief, the frantic questions, the rush to act, and the crushing pronouncement that nothing can be done. This clip gives us the human collapse, shock, denial, the instinct to save, and the finality of a parent's or partner's calm statement that there is no hospital to run to. It's the emotional apex of immediate loss,